One, two, three. Welcome back, everyone, to another Sunday recap session and tip of the day or a week. Um, Glad to be back. Hopefully, you guys are ready for the next week, another week, and another month. We're in August. We're killing it. It's much better this month. Usually, relatively August and summer, it's considered as a the slowest months of the year. September we see more activity, but this is not always the case. It's just proven to be slower. But this year we had different action in the market because as we go into the recession and all these small caps pumper showing off. So we saw a good amount of tickers that pumping throughout July and August so far. But it's still early, so we shall see how August will be. We still have more time, but so far so good. We had a really great um, week last week. I am going to kind of like go over, as always, go over all the plays that we had, what happened, and also I'm going to talk about what are the best timings during the market that we can trade. So usually I come up with a topic and I can go over it. There's a lot of things to cover, and I'm still working on the course side of the using all kind of like recording all the videos that needed regarding how to scan your scan small cap area and how to look at them, how to trade them, and all those key areas, basically recipes that you might find it useful, and you can use it to your own, I guess, trading word. Hopefully, uh, but I also offer a one-to-one session. Have students that they come ask me question. I go over everything. 2 hour session each time. There's two times sessions, so I can do. I'm very flexible, and we can jump on a call and go over stuff that you're concerned and what exactly you're looking for. And these are the stuff that really helps you. I start with having a mentor and build up my own strategy. So there's nothing wrong with using someone's blueprint or getting a knowledge from an experienced worker or in this case trader, and then apply it to yourself. So without further ado, let's get us started with the watch list that we had and with the plays that we had for the last week from August 1st. So yeah, and then keep that in mind. You can reach out to me anytime in the group. DM me a question you have. Make sure to follow the channel so you can make sure you can always be updated. I don't really I'm not really like other people around the trading world. I'm more precise and very specific in the area, so it's very different than probably you seeing other people on YouTube or other areas that you want to kind of like learn from. But my strategy is different. My works is different. So yeah, my approach also is different. My approaches are also different. So let's get us started with our first play that we had on Monday, which was TBLT. What I'm gonna do, I don't really think going over so much of details would be useful for you guys, but I'll keep it short for the recap, and then I'll go straight to what exactly is it. It's a tip for you that you can kind of um, use it and learn from it. Also, the recap, it's very useful if you really anticipate. So we had TBLT on Monday. Great play. After a week of I was out due to the COVID. Came back strong with the TBLT. We play out fairly nicely on Monday, and then we play very strictly focused on some areas that I was looking, and then TBLT plays out nicely after the day that we played it. I think we played on the Monday, and it was, I believe, around $7 TBLT. We played it around seven. Sorry, it was 8th first. Yes. And we played this very nicely. The news came out on it. I believe there was some sort of news on it, and we were kind of focusing on the action and the pre-market, and this was a call for the pre-market, and we always I mean, I personally, when I trade pre-market, I want to be I want to take my profit, take most of my profit, because when is the pre-market, there's less liquidity, there's less traders, so your actions or volatility and spreads are huge, and your risk is lower in terms of timing, but your risk can be potential if you don't know what exactly how to buy and how to execute. So in pre-market, as you probably know, in pre-market, market order doesn't work. So you have to have the limit order set up. I'm going to go over that in a bit after covering all the trades that we had. Um, we had few trades this week, so not gonna take much of time. In the pre-market, you usually have to place an order in the limit order, and making sure that what areas your order filled out. I mean, there's a trick behind it. If you set up your setup, your trading setup is it's yeah, if you're using some sort of like a stream deck, or you're using just click button or anything with the mouse, you can set up your order in a in the right way, so you can have a better execution in the pre-market. Those are the tips that not a lot of beginners knows. Pretty much no one knows, and mainly experienced traders or intermediate, they know how to kind of like set up that um, you know um, click button stuff. So we had this massive play on TBLT, which to me, for the last few weeks, we had so many pumps on biotechs, small caps, and I think TBLT was also a biotech. I'm not sure exactly. Let's take a look at it. No, it was a textile company. So doesn't matter. Oh, we had all these pumpers again in pre-market session. I remember the first time I saw all these action was very long time ago, because we had the very slowest time for the last few months, and this month and last month we had more action, which is very odd in terms of history. But we had a very good plays. We plays out nicely, and the TBLT was one of those go getter. And what I look at was usually I chart from the daily, to the weekly, and as well as hourly. I always have my setup ready here. Always, I have to mention I use Thinkorswim for charting, but TOS is, I mean, TD is not my main brokerage. I don't use the TOS. It's very slow in terms of the way that I trade. So, but it's good for a start. If you want to start on learning all this, I always highly recommend using paper trade. They offer a very good paper trade setup, so you can do that. But it's always good to use a better broker once you kind of like get used to and learn more about how to execute all these trades. So one of the one of those way that I usually chart my stuff is just I look at a different time frame. And in this case, I mean, any in all cases, all tickers, I look at the daily. I chart my setup for the daily as well. So TBLT was a massive runner for a few days, and then it just exhausted after on Tuesday. I think this was Monday. Yeah, this is Monday, and then Tuesday just kind of like goofing around, and the volume is just gone, shade out, and you see that beautiful opportunity for a short, and it's just die hard so far. But I think this could be a big watch for the Monday and next week. TBLTs always have those sort of pumping running. This area is very crucial, as you can see here. There's support, and we're looking at this bottom. So maybe there should be some sort of pump on Monday, possibly. If not, this thing will go down more. So there's a better opportunity to short it, because you can see that how the reward towards the to the downside is much more than the reward to the upside. Obviously, the risk is still there, but you can see that how much cover pump happening and all those stuff. So just have it on the watch. Next thing that we had was, yeah, well, we did a massive play on this one, and the greatest play of all we had this last week was APDN. APDN was the best play I personally had. I maximized my profit in so many ways, but the way that I trade, probably most of you guys don't do it. It's very strict. Um, I look at scaling. Scaling part is very important, and how to do it, and the execution is very important. So APDN, what I saw was the news that came out, and we were so early. I mean, if you pay attention to my alert, I alerted at 1.32, and I personally played it at our area, and then it scaled out, scaled in so many ways, and went for in the morning. I was done pretty much with my play, and then it had this massive run in the afternoon kind of thing. I had leftover in the position, and build another position, adding up, and then I make another trade in the afternoon to maximize my profit. So that was a very successful trade personally for me on APDN. So pretty much I was done for the entire week with only APDN play. And in the next day in pre-market, there was this massive run to the $7, as you can see. Beautiful play. I think I personally took few other trades in the next days, but very small, very quick, and just make sure that things won't go wrong with this play for me, because I had this massive successful trade with it. So sometimes it's very bad when you see like a multi-day runner, and you wanna kind of like have that greed ideas, and you keep playing, over trading, and then next thing you know, it's just everything you trade, it's just gone, and you're not seeking a successful trade. You're just seeking more money, which is toxic, which is very toxic in terms of being a consistent trader. And these are the stuff that you should probably know and learn about it, because the psychology behind all of these is very important than just executing the order. So yeah, APDN best play of the week. I still have it in my watch. I think Friday there was another pump towards $5 again, as you can see here. Stock is still higher up, and I believe yeah, I think it was a very low float and biotech pumper, as you can see, 62 cents, and to this massive pop. So have it on the watch. There's a gap until to the $9. I can see that here. You can see it. $9. There's a big gap over there. So probably more potential left in APDN. I have it on my back pocket. So yeah, definitely watch this. And yeah, next day we had BCTX and NVIV. Very unsuccessful trade on BCTX. I personally wanted to more, but I don't know why most of these, because BCTX relatively, I'm very familiar with BCTX. I trade BCTX many times, but I wanted to the gap kind of filled out, but the value was just disappear. It disappeared, never came back. So for me, it was more of a problem to kind of managing my position because there wasn't any value, and sadly, I took a loss on it, and I just scaled a little bit, but didn't go as I wanted. So this was one of those, one of those stuff that uh, you know, it happens. The risk was very minimal for me. As you can see, there wasn't much of the risk. So I keep it tight. I didn't want this to go, vanish too much. So I keep it tight, and I just took a loss because there wasn't any incoming order. And next thing I'm gonna talk about is about the timing. So the timing for me on BCTX was already over, and I didn't want to stay longer and look at the position, making sure that if this things go or not. So this was just a unfortunate play, which happened rarely. As you guys follow me, you guys know I'm very conservative in the plays, and I know what area we should play, and all the long trades are mainly, I mean, a 90% of long trades that I mentioned is always successful. Not to brag it about it, but like if you know that your setup, if there is a target area, you can always see that as well. So yeah, BCTX, one of those play, and on the same day we had NVIV. Also, this was another random unsuccessful trade kind of thing. I was looking for more on this, and me personally, scaled it, and then had a very small profit on it, as you guys probably took it, but it was very risky. The spread was huge. The float was only 1 million, so I didn't want to really recommend this to anyone. I personally missed out on the big move, and I wanted to alert you guys, but I was focusing on BCTX and other areas. So the NVIV already ran up, but personally thought there was a big gap to $15, and didn't happen. I scalped this very quick to make a small profit, make my losses back to the BCTX, but end up with a very small profit on that day. But doesn't matter. Sometimes happen. I mean, it's a game of probability, so you have to know what area you're looking for. And then VIV was one of those, you know, rats that uh, not wanted to keep the game, and short just attack this. And so far as you can see, still in that cover pop area is all the shorts attack and covered, and the next day on Friday, and then a little bit of that. So maybe I'll keep it on the watch if there's more volume. And VIV actually has a lack of volume on Thursday, I believe. Yeah, this was Thursday. Um, but a quick play. Yeah, that was a Thursday, and then Friday we had Peggy. Peggy was very successful. I like Peggy. I think we played Peggy before as well, and this was alert on the pre-market. I mean, I always suggest you guys wake up early if you want to trade the small cap. My timing, because I'm in the West Coast, it's horrible. I have to wake up super early, like 4 a.m. But if you're in East Coast or Central, you're okay with 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So you can kind of manage your timing. It's always good to be early on these plays before the market opens, because when the market opens, it's very hard to create the bigger position, especially when with this current market condition. So pre-market is your best bet. I don't suggest the aftermarket. I'm gonna go over all the timing in a bit. So yeah, Peggy we had. This was the last play we had. This was also a quick play in the pre-market early. Played at the $4.35 and hit it all target max PT we had. My target was already there, so I knew that okay, this is the area I'm gonna take a profit before market open, and boom, bam, that's it. Take a profit, very 9% profit over here, and that's about it. I didn't want to stay around. I had to be somewhere, so Peggy was the last one. And then so far didn't do too much during the market open, and it's just gone. So these are the stuff that you always have to know. These small caps and manipulated stocks. You always have to treat them as a Tinder date, uh, and just nail and bail. That's it. That's all you need. So what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna kind of cover what timing is best. Probably the best example would be APDN, maybe. APDN. I'm gonna kind of like explain to you guys what type of timing, what exactly mean when I mention timing. So in the market, you have few different timing areas. So especially in the area that we are trading. Of course, if you're option trading, you're looking for the market open to the market close. That's the only way you can kind of like look at it. But in even with the option, you also have the areas that you should know. You should probably know that you should not trade during the launch hour. Launch hour usually around this is all Eastern time. We're looking at the Eastern time. I mean, it doesn't matter which country you live or which state that you live. If you're in the East side, you always count everything with the market hour. Market hours always count with the Eastern time. So yeah. So the timing. When I'm looking at the pre-market, so pre-market is mainly um, it's not for so many traders or investors. They're not looking at the pre-market, but for us or for me, that looking at trading all these small caps, pre-market is the best time for me. Somewhere around 7 a.m., which is considered my 4 a.m. To when I'm allowed to trade at 4 a.m. And I mean I'm not gonna say Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. It's a time that I will be able to trade and just kind of like see all the actions. And this is the great time. This area I'm gonna kind of like show you guys how it works. This time frame, you are looking at you're looking at uh, pretty much 80% risk. You're looking at like 80%. I'll type it out here for you. Maybe like 80 to 20, obviously. 80 to 20 risk here or more. Was it 90 to 10? This is your best area, and obviously I'm gonna extend this a little bit more because I am looking for more of. Maybe I remove this and click here. There we go. And this is the best time to um have a good trade and focus your time here. If you're building up a position and you want to see more on the action, and there's an action. Sometimes when you are in the pre-market, it's dead pre-market. There's nothing going on. So that could happen during bad market condition, and you're probably gonna waste it kind of your time in the pre-market. But don't think about it like that, because it's a good routine, it's a good habit to wake up early, and not just for trading. It helps you to have a better mindset. I mean, have a focus and being early on, finishing early, and have more time to do other stuff in your life. So this time frame, it allows me to kind of like being able to focus and have higher energy to do all the stuff, and I mean do all the trading. So if I want to build a position at this time, I would have higher risk. I would have less risk and higher potential. So I know if anything goes wrong, I have more time. I have more time to recover. And this is gonna be the next phase I'm gonna talk about. This is the next time frame area that I'm looking. From 936 to 11:30, 11:35, 12, let's say. But 12 is not really helpful. I look at that area for um, let's say probably this area would be I don't know, I don't know, 60 to 40. This is the best time, 60 to 40. This is purely for all these small caps that I'm focusing. I only look at this. I mean, if you trade Apple, AMC, Tesla, whatever, your vision will be different. This is only for small cap area, all these pumpers. So the best area would be this area, my risk, build up position, and why this gap is here. I do not trade from 9 to 9:30. This is the very risky part. Why? Because from 9 to 9:30, it's becoming the time that all the traders are ready. There's more volatility. The spreads are tighter. Probably you see more consolidation because the direction it's not clear yet. So that 9 to 9:30, if you start trading, your risk is high. Your risk is way too high here. You're probably looking at way much more risk here, and you kind of like a stock in that I guess limbo part, waiting for the market to be open. So that 9 to 9:30, I always avoid. If I'm in a position that already happened here, it's okay. I manage my position, and usually I'm so early in the position, so I don't mind if the stock is going to my favor. I don't mind to have some portion here, but I do not hold the entire position um, during the pre-market. I lock in my profit. I probably left, I don't know, 1/3 of my position um, for the market open to see more action. If not, I'm just gonna take the last profit and build up another position. Focus on a different area. Focus on this time frame. So from 9 to 9:30 is not my. It's I'm avoiding trading at this time. I avoid trading at this time. Also at 9:30 to 9:35. Why that 5 minutes is important for me? That 5 minutes allows me to kind of like see all the direction, what direction that stock will go, and making sure that okay, I'm not stuck into the platform crash. Usually that 5 minutes, 6 minutes, relatively. I mean, this was the experience that I had. Broker crashed. I think my early time when I was trading, I trade also with TD. My TD would crash, and I was trading at this time frame, and that's it. Everyone else trading with my platform, and so many other people who were trading in the same platform, they're stuck, and they couldn't really do that. So these stuff could happen. Usually happen in the very early 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the market open. So I try to avoid that. I learned the lesson. I don't want to do that. I don't want to trade that time frame. Doesn't matter if the stock goes to the moon at this time frame or goes to the whatever downhill. So I don't want to trade that. I focus on the better. Usually it's better for the other candles that coming after like 9:36 and all that. So those are the time that I'm looking. And then from 9:36, if I already had a successful day on my pre-market, I do not really, um, use so much of sizing in this time frame. If the stock is on a rally, obviously things will be different. But my risk is 60/40, so I know this is the time I'm just having medium size if I'm gonna trade, and I will probably going to be done by 11:30. And if there isn't a position, I don't really hold on to the position. And if there's a position that I want to kind of see more, sometimes during the launch, like this is the launch hour, you see that the consolidation during the launch hour, but APDN was very successful. It was on the rally, so the launch wasn't really effect on it. And let me make sure that everything is set up here. Okay, yeah. Um, so the launch hour is very risky also for me. I do not suggest everyone to trade on the launch hour because it's less liquidity again, and you trading on the consolidation, and then you can trade. This is avoiding time personally for me. You can trade back on the kind of the power hour area, which would be around, I don't know, 2:30 or 3, kind of like this area, and then you go to this after hours. So this also is like very. I don't trade this because the risk is higher for me. Well, sometimes it's. I mean, majority of people love that launch hour pump. There's more action to the launch hour, but I would think like 1080, 1090 is my risk at this area. So you don't see me trade at this time frame. I don't really care. But if I'm in a bigger position, or if I'm working on a good potential stock, yeah, probably I'll trade a little bit here. Sometimes maybe few scalps. I'm not saying you only have to have a position to trade. You can scalp in the power hour, power lunch basically, and then during the after hour you're just in higher risk. I mean, I would avoid this whole thing unless if you are like seeing like some IPOs coming or some earnings are coming, and you want to kind of like anticipate to that after hour trade. But you also you don't have the same risk as a pre-market. You don't have the same risk as pre-market, and you probably gonna be stuck for the next day. And if you trade after hour Friday, I mean, why would you do that? Like you're kind of like risking so much over the weekend, going with the headache, cannot sleep with the position. Why would you do that? I mean, that's not a way for day trading. I'm purely talking about the small cap. Not talking about anything else. You probably have better ideas with trading Apple in the after hour or Tesla in the after hour. So I'm not gonna talk about that. This is my area. This is my focus. So this is the type of time frame, and it can gives you a better exposure and ideas of what you should look if you trading uh you know micro cap or small cap area. So hope you guys find it interesting. Hope you guys find it useful. At the end of the day, I really want you guys to learn and get more ideas of this. It's really helpful. It helped me a lot to become a full-time trader. So it's something that you should probably learn if you are in this trading world. So yeah, once again, DM me if you guys have any question. I would love to jump on a call if you want to have a one-on-one session. And yeah, and hope you guys enjoy this. Enjoy your Sunday, and see you guys on Monday. And have a great day.